Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. We're out here in the workshop today, and today we're going to talk about preparing your garlic harvest for storage. Now, we've harvested our garlic probably about a month ago, and it's been out here drying. It could have been a little bit longer. And what we're doing is, or what I'm doing is preparing it for storage. Now, when I harvested it and it dried, it kind of looks like this. I cut the stems this year. Normally I just leave them whole and lay them on the shelf, but I got rid of the stems. I didn't want all that extra on there. Now what we're doing is getting this ready for harvest. This variety here is good and dry. This isn't, but we're going to store this a different way. But this variety, what we're doing now is we're cutting these stems off. As you can see, this is what it looks like. And by the time we get finished, this is what it looks like. So let's go through the process. And so first thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut these stems off. Now, when I cut these off, some of these, like this particular one, is still moist up here. Now, I'm shortening these stems for two reasons. One, to let more moisture out, and plus get them out of the way of having to store something that's not necessary. Now, I used to cut it off even. I've got away from that. Now I cut it off where it's shorter, or where it's longer than it was, excuse me. And all we got to do is go around here and we rub this outside off, and then we've got a nice bulb. Now, when you do this, you don't want to rub all this off till you get down to the clove. Now, I have had some that split over time, and I don't worry about it storing. It seems to store good, but you're more likely to have a storage issue if you break this outside. Now, some of these, as you can see, this one here is kind of weird shape, because what happens is after a period of time, and that's the reason we harvest it, sometimes it starts having nodules start to grow. And these extra nodules are separate from here, but it did split off the outside protective sheeting. But these will be fine. They're kind of like separate. Well, they are closed, but they're like a separate garlic bulb. And all we do, and we make sure that our roots are trimmed close. This is kind of dormant, but we don't want any chance of extra moisture getting in here or drawing up from the roots, because they can draw moisture from the air if they've got a lot of roots, and they won't store as long if they're drawing moisture, and they'll be trying to grow. And they sometimes they do grow just like onions. When they're stored, you'll notice that you'll get an onion that'll sprout atop, because after a certain amount of time, if they're not stored properly, then they'll start having issues. But what I try to do is get off a lot of this extra, and also, and you see how this is kind of splitting on down in here a little bit closer. Now, normally it's easier if I got two gloves, because these gloves actually have a kind of a rubberized palm on them. But we're just going to pull this out like this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take these inside my workshop that is climate controlled. And the reason for that is, with that climate controlled situation, the moisture level is lower with the AC, because right now it is kind of the rainy season. You'll have higher humidity out here in the workshop. And with that higher humidity, you will have your cloves not dry quite as well. And you don't want to stack these up in a box or a crate or something. with a lot of extra moisture and then end up with a situation to where one starts to rot. Now, like the one with the top that was moist and it's not dried out yet, if it doesn't dry out to a point when I get ready to store the others, it won't be stored with them until it gets to that point, because we want this garlic to last a good long time. And garlic is one of those things we use for seed. So we'll take some of these bulbs, and usually it's the bigger ones. We want big bulbs to plant so we get a good crop. But this is the time when you start thinking about seed saving too, because you want to be able to grow garlic next year. And there's no reason, once you have garlic, not being able to just replant your garlic for your next crop. That's what I always do, unless I start a new variety, or if for some reason I have a failure, I'll have to get more seed. But normally I'll just take these bulbs, a certain amount of them, and I'll use these for next year's crop. And that always works out great. It's going to be true to the variety that you had. You're not going to have some Frankenstein garlic or something. That's the way that they get it now. And this has always worked throughout the ages, as far as for people that have been growing their garlic for a long time. But it's as simple as this. Like I say, it's just a matter of cleaning up. We're going to get the majority of all the dirt off. And now it looks like garlic that's been like you would buy in the store, good fresh garlic, and well, I'd say fresh, good cured out garlic, and it's ready to use. And this is no secret. I could take and put a thumbnail on the secret to garlic. Maybe I will. But this is it. Garlic is one of those plants that have medicinal purposes. You know, a lot of times we just think about it as cooking, but when you start thinking more about your health, you'll start thinking more about the purpose of garlic. It's good for all kinds of immune boosting properties. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to prescribe how much garlic you might need for such. There's a lot of remedies, home remedies, that have been used throughout the years that work real well, where they use garlics for colds and such. Maybe pouring honey over it and get the properties of that too. But that's one reason why it's important to grow a lot. But don't worry, like say, if your protective casing on here has come off, like in situations like this, just go ahead and separate those cloves. They'll be fine. They'll store fine. But like I say, leave a little bit of the end. It seems to do a little bit better, and we're not in a hurry to dry this out. We want it to cure out naturally. Now, this has been out here in the shop. We have got some warmer days. I've I blow a fan over this while it's curing, keep the moisture away. This variety is cured out good. The other one it's on its way, but for long-term storage, it's not there yet. And that's one of the important things, is to make sure that your garlic is good and dry before you store it. But anyway, I hope you found some value in this little short video. And if you want to see more videos on gardening, harvesting, preserving, freeze drying, stuff like that. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all so you'll be notified. And of course, give it a big thumbs up and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.